Okay, the first thing I'm going to do to install this water filter system, I need to install this thing right here. So I have a drill bit that is just a little bit bigger than the diameter of this rod. What I'm going to do is measure the center of this. Right here. Then I'm going to use this tool right here. It is a center punch tool, so I can make a guiding hole and bore a hole using the guiding hole or a pilot hole. I'm going to add some water so that the drill bit doesn't get too hot. I think I need to drill a smaller hole first. The good thing about the water is it catches the metal shavings, so the metal shavings don't get everywhere. Now that I have the hole, I'm going to use this bigger drill bit. Alright, I finally cut the hole through. Now I can fit the tubing in. Bam! Should look something like that. Okay, so I need to put this bushing in, this washer, and then tie it up with this nut. So first I'm going to route this in, like so. And then the next thing is this. The last thing is the nut. I'm gonna have to tighten it with this wrench right here. So now I'm going to put together the filter. Okay, I think the set that I came with a bunch of extra filters. Stage 1, 2, and 3. But then inside these filters are also a refillable cartridge. Okay, so it says the stage 1 filter has a FIES SED10. So I'm gonna put that in the stage 1 filter right here. So this says pre-filtration sediment 1. So I'm gonna put the stage 1 filter here. Screws in counterclockwise. The second and third stage filter is a FIES cab 10. Stage 2 and stage 3 filters. Same one for the stage 3. It also comes with this wrench right here, which you can use to tighten up the filters. Oh, that's pretty nice. Actually, you need to remove the third one so you can tighten the second one. So I would put one in, tighten it up, put the second one, tighten it up, and then put the third one and then tighten it up. Now put back the third one, counterclockwise to tighten it up. So right here is my cold water line. What I'm going to do is make sure it's off. Now that no water is coming out of it, I'm going to loosen this. I'm gonna get a tray in case water leaks. I can catch it. Okay, now that that's off, I'm gonna install this. Before I put that on, I'm gonna make sure that there's some pipe tape. I'm gonna actually attach some pipe tape to this. I'm gonna tighten this on top of it. Some more pipe tape, and then screw the outlet for the water back on. Okay, that part's done. So next it wants me to install this thing, this valve on top of the tank. It's a 4-gallon tank, by the way. This diagram here is really helpful. I'll add a link to this diagram in the description below so you can get an idea of how to install this in your own home. So you have to disconnect these end plugs right here. Press down on this ridge and then you can pull out these little stoppers that they have. There's one right here, and then there's one down here. So what I'm nervous about is doing this right here. I have to add a drain line to my existing drain pipe. So that requires me to drill a hole into my drain pipe. And once you do that, you can't go back from it. So I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this correct. But here's the kit for that. I'm gonna clean under my sink real quick. Okay, I'm gonna start situating things inside the cabinet. I'm gonna be putting my filters on the left-hand side. Right there. This black tubing is gonna come. Have the drain pipe somewhere right here. There's my tank right there. It says I can connect a yellow tube to connect the tank to the filter. So I'm gonna bust out my yellow cable. The yellow cable connects right here. I'm also gonna collect the red cable right now. And this red cable is going to connect to the water line. I can also connect the faucet line where the water will be coming out. So this red line is going to go in here. So basically the last thing I need to do is add the drain line. So I'm gonna add it right here, right here. So you're gonna need a 1/4 inch drill bit. That's what they recommend to drill this hole for the drain. All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it at an angle like this because my drill bit does not fit in there. So they recommend to put some tape around there. Actually, I'm gonna clean around the pipe a little bit. Make sure it's dry so that the tape can adhere to it, or whatever the adhesive can adhere to it. This is what that looks like. Here's a closer angle of that. And then what it wants me to do is attach this very tightly. And they say that I need to align the holes. Okay, once that's tight, I can then attach the drain line. Okay, right now all my cables are connected. I'm going to turn back on the water. I'm going to check for any leaks down here. Make sure things are flowing properly. Okay, there's a leak somewhere. Turn off the water. Ooh, it's very wet down here, so there's definitely a leak somewhere. So a bunch of towels down here so I can dry up underneath. I'm gonna turn the water on again, I think it might be. So right now there's a leak right here. I didn't think I tightened this tight enough. So I'm draining it, and I'm going to try it again after there's no more water coming out. As you can see here, there's some drips coming out of this faucet. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have to take this out. Oh boy, a bunch of water's coming out. Since this is plastic, I didn't want to over tighten it, but I guess I was wrong. I need to make sure it's very tight. All right, that is in pretty tight now. I'm gonna reattach the tubing, and let's try this again. Okay, it looks very dry now. I think that was it. Okay, no more leaks coming out of the tank, but we're gonna monitor just to make sure. This is where the water comes out. Let's test it real quick. Okay, we're getting water out of here. Alright, we're pretty much done with the installation. I'm gonna let it fill up the tank a little bit, and then we'll do a test to see how much ppm or particles per whatever. I'm gonna use a gauge to see how clean the water actually is. Alright, I cycled the filter 2 times already. I emptied the tank twice. It's a 4-gallon tank, so it did take quite a while to empty those tanks. I'm gonna turn it on, and you can see the pressure of the water is pretty good. My water pressure in my house is good, so that translates into good water pressure for your water filter system. In the manual, it did say that if you don't have good water pressure, that's gonna affect your water filtration system. And if you don't have good water pressure, your tank might not even fill up to 100%. So once again, before you use it, you do need to cycle through the filter twice. When I first started using the water was really murky and dirty. And you probably want to use a TDS tester to check the parts per million, the ppm, before you start drinking. So I'm going to show you how I tested it out. This is my regular tap water. So I have this TDS tester right here. I'm going to turn it on. On the bottom of this, you can put that into the water and it should test the parts per million. So once I put in my tap water, you can see the parts per million is 106, 107. I have really hard water here, so this is why I'm getting a filter. There's a lot of calcium buildup in my water. Even though this says it's 107 and between 50 and 100 ppm is drinkable water, I still don't want to drink this tap water because of the minerals. Drinking water with a lot of minerals, you can develop kidney stones. So 106 was the ppm for my tap water. All right, I'm going to use the filtered water now. And when I use the filtered water, the ppm is only 18. That is wild. So you can see the filter is already working. So I highly recommend getting a TDS tester and testing out your unit before you start drinking the water. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful so that you can install your own water filtration system. Thanks for watching.